Matthew, if you are ready, we are going to go to Diamond Head and David, who has been on hold forever. David, thank you so much. We do appreciate it. What can we help you with tonight?
Hey, David.
Yeah, I just have basically a great question for a night like this where you can ask anything.
Well,
Uh-oh. Hey, David.
Okay.
All right.
Calling a shot.
So a person has surgery 20 years ago, 30 years ago.
Okay.
Well, let's back up. Say they had it 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago,
Okay.
performed by different surgeons, and say the doctors at the 20 and 30-year mark have since retired
Sure.
and out of business.
Yeah.
Can person get those records?
Matthew, interesting question. And, you know, as kind of baby boomers are moving into that phase and multiple doctors over here, David, I think that's a great question. How do you get these old records?
Well, first of all, can you get the old records? Quite frankly, doctors, for example, lawyers are required to keep their records for up to 7 years. There's a similar rule with physicians. So they're required by law to keep their records on hand for a number of time. But a lot of doctors keep their records on permanently, or for as long as they can. So I would, of course, contact the physician if they happen to be retired, as I think Dave was talking about. Usually their practices are taken over by someone else, and so they may have access to those records. But quite frankly, if it has been 30, 20 years, something like that,
right.
You're allowed to get them if they exist. But the simple fact is they may not exist, is the truth. So, and if they don't, there's no legal redress, there's no claim, there's no issue, they just don't exist. So there you go.
Well, Matt, that speaks to an interesting point of keeping your own records, doesn't it? How
Absolutely.
important, right?
Yeah, for example, every time, at the end of the case, hopefully at the end when there's a positive result and people come in for distributions, we always offer them to get their medical records, and sometimes they're boxes and boxes, and we're more than welcome to give them to folks that take home. But yeah, for sure. But yeah, keep your records. If there's something important in your medical records that you need for the future, you better keep it.
And like you said, there's no legal recourse. There's no way you write them a letter or go see an attorney and they're like, oh, okay, I have to produce my records.
Right. For a number of years, they were required to keep it by law, but after that, they're free to shred it, destroy it, whatever they want to do.
David, great question.
Great question.
Moving forward, especially like you're saying, if you had surgery like back in the 90s, well, you're getting close now to 20 years, and you could, what happened
back
to
in
that
the
gallbladder?
90s.
Back in the 90s.
Let's not talk about back in the 90s, Kenny.
Right. Get the gallbladder removed. What happened to it?
Whatever.